It's 7:30 a.m. in Chisinau, Moldova. The morning sun glows golden on cracked Soviet-era pavement. You hear the gentle clink of glass as an elderly couple rolls out their cart, selling homemade red wine from reused Coca-Cola bottles. The scent of fresh bread and sunflower oil drifts from a nearby bakery. A thin mist rises off the city's sleeping trees. It's quiet, it's unpolished, but somehow it feels like home. This is Moldova, Europe's poorest country by income, and yet one of its richest in spirit. Most Westerners have never thought of coming here. Some couldn't even place it on a map. But what if I told you that what men chase in Paris, Prague, and Berlin, romance, peace, connection, might be waiting in this small, forgotten corner of Eastern Europe? Here, people aren't obsessed with image. They don't measure success in Instagram likes or luxury watches. They measure it in the quality of their garden tomatoes, in the softness of a kiss, in how tightly you hug your mother when you visit. You've been chasing lifestyle and luxury. But in Moldova, people chase meaning. You thought you knew Europe. But Moldova feels different. Tucked between empires, Moldova is nestled quietly between Romania and Ukraine. No ocean, no Alps, no high-speed trains. It's landlocked and often overlooked, but within this tiny space lies a cultural puzzle of epic proportions. Historically tied to Romania, occupied by the Soviets, and still culturally pulled in both directions, Moldova is a place that's constantly redefining itself. Since gaining independence in 1991, it's struggled with corruption, poverty, and massive emigration. Many of its brightest minds have left for Europe in search of higher wages. But those who stay, they carry the soul of the nation. Chisinau, the capital, isn't flashy, but it grows on you. Wide boulevards are shaded by chestnut trees. Soviet apartment blocks loom beside elegant churches. Young couples walk hand in hand past kiosks selling cold kvass and sunflower seeds. Then there's Transnistria, a breakaway territory on the eastern border that still waves the hammer and sickle and operates in a Soviet time warp. Moldova leans west politically, but many families still speak Russian at home and feel the economic pull of the East. It's a country in between, not just on the map, but in its heart, and that in-betweenness? It's what makes Moldova so fascinating. Wine, faith, and forgotten glory. To understand Moldova, you have to slow down. You have to sit on a wooden bench outside a whitewashed house and sip something homemade. Wine here isn't for tourists, it's sacred, a part of life woven into meals, traditions, and even church rituals. Moldova is one of the oldest winemaking regions in the world. And yes, some of the best bottles still come from someone's cellar. Religion is everywhere, but quietly so. Small Orthodox churches dot the countryside, painted soft shades of blue and white with golden domes that catch the light at dusk. Faith here isn't loud, it's reverent. Moldovans light candles for loved ones. They whisper prayers rather than shout them. You'll see tradition in everything from the folk embroidery on blouses to the way families still gather every Sunday, no matter how poor. In the villages, horse-drawn carts are more common than cars. Old women sit on stools shelling beans. Chickens wander through open gates. The pace of life hasn't changed much since the 1950s. But you'll also feel the Soviet shadow, especially in the language. Some Moldovans speak Romanian, others Russian. Many are bilingual. There's pride in that, but also pain, reminders of occupation, of lost identity, of dreams left behind. Still, Moldovans endure, private, poetic, proud. This isn't a loud culture, it's a deep one. Beauty and elegance that doesn't shout. Let's talk honestly. For many Western men, the women of Eastern Europe are a quiet fascination, and Moldova, in particular, holds a unique kind of allure. Moldovan women are stunning, but not in a commercial, flashy way. Think soft features, light skin, and dark hair that flows naturally. High cheekbones, expressive eyes, and a kind of grace that doesn't need filters. Many have a Slavic Romanian mix in their heritage, giving them a naturally elegant look that feels almost timeless, but it's not just about appearance. What strikes most men is how feminine Moldovan women are not performatively, but naturally. They carry themselves with self-respect. They dress with care, even on a walk to the market. They're modest, yet confident. Educated, yet warm. Most speak multiple languages. They read, they cook, they laugh softly, they look you in the eye. And listen, a trait so rare in today's fast, loud world. Dating here is traditional. It's not Tinder swipes or late-night clubs. It's tea on a park bench. It's long walks and conversations that actually mean something. Love grows slowly here, but when it arrives, it feels deep. Moldovan women value family, loyalty, and emotional presence for the Western man used to transactional dating. Moldova offers something radically different, emotional intimacy. And in a world where love feels increasingly artificial, that kind of connection? It's almost shocking. Quiet pride in simple things. Life in Moldova moves slowly, not in a boring way, but in a way that feels intentional. People aren't in a rush, they're present. On the surface, the streets might seem worn, paint chipped, concrete cracked. But if you look closer, you'll notice something deeper: care. Neighbors sweep the sidewalks in front of their homes. Windowsills bloom with red geraniums in old coffee tins. Fruit vendors arrange apples into perfect pyramids. There's a quiet pride in doing small things well. In the courtyards of Soviet-era apartment blocks, grandmothers hang laundry between rusted poles. Children laugh as they chase stray dogs around broken fountains. Men sit on benches shelling sunflower seeds, nodding hello to everyone who passes. There's a village heart even in the city. Moldovans don't overshare, they're reserved, but they're deeply respectful. If you're lost, a stranger may not smile, but they'll walk you 10 blocks to help. If you're a foreigner, people will glance, sure, but you won't feel judged, you'll feel noticed. This is a culture where dignity is quiet. There's no need for flash, just simple lives, lived sincerely. Poor country, rich lifestyle, let's talk numbers. Moldova is poor by Western standards. The average monthly salary here? Between $300 and $500. But if you earn in dollars or euros, if you're a remote worker, a digital nomad, or even early retired, Moldova becomes a paradise of affordability. You can rent a renovated one-bedroom apartment in a quiet part of Chisinau for $250 to $400. Utilities around $50 to $80. High-speed internet is cheap. A cappuccino costs $1. Dinner in a decent restaurant, $6 to $8. And the wine is often $3 a bottle and easily competes with anything from France or Italy. Want to treat yourself? You can get a full massage for $15. A tailor-made suit for under $100. Spend weekends touring ancient monasteries or lounging in winery courtyards with views that belong in paintings. Housing comes into flavors: compact Soviet apartments with vine-covered balconies or country homes with wood stoves, apple trees, and a chicken or two in the yard. Either way, life here isn't about luxury, it's about balance. In Moldova, your dollar stretches further, but more importantly, your peace of mind does too. It's not flashy, it's free. And that freedom, that's the real wealth. Wine cellars and slow dancing, you won't find a Las Vegas in Moldova. But what you will find is magic in a slower rhythm. Chisinau has its share of nightlife, small clubs pulsing with deep house, speakeasy bars with moody lighting, lounges where girls in heels sip cherry wine. But it's never overwhelming, it's personal, local, intimate. Then there are Moldova's hidden treasures, underground wine cities like Craiova and Milestyi. These aren't just cellars. They're entire labyrinths beneath the hills, where the walls drip with barrels, and candlelit tastings stretch into soulful dinners. Music here isn't deafening, it's melodic. Sometimes it's a single violin, sometimes it's a folk group, singing stories older than the nation itself. At festivals, you'll see families dancing in embroidered blouses, Accordions play waltzes, strangers lock eyes, smile, and spin beneath strings of lights. Romance is real here, and often, it starts with music. Alcohol flows freely: wine, plum brandy, and local beers, but drunkenness is rare. Moldovans drink to connect, not to forget. The nightlife here doesn't scream. It whispers, and that whisper, sometimes, it's all you need to feel alive. Safe, sincere, and slightly old-fashioned. Moldova might be Europe's poorest nation, but it's also one of its safest. You can walk through Chisinau at midnight without fear. Even in dimly lit neighborhoods, there's rarely danger. Petty theft exists, but violent crime, almost unheard of. People respect boundaries here. They don't pick fights. They don't pick pockets either. The police presence is minimal, but effective. Laws exist, but more powerful are the unspoken rules. Respect your elders. Don't act like a fool in public. Dress decently, behave modestly. Moldovans might not say much, but they notice everything. LGBTQ+ rights are legally protected, but cultural acceptance is still evolving. Public displays of affection are uncommon even among straight couples. Moldova is not ultra-conservative, but it leans traditional. Gender roles remain strong. Families often live together across generations, and foreigners? They're welcomed, especially those who show respect. If you learn a few words of Romanian or Russian, dress politely, and listen more than you speak, you'll be embraced. Moldova isn't lawless, it's lawful in a quiet, old-fashioned way. It doesn't demand much from visitors, just sincerity, and in return, you'll feel truly safe. The softest place in Europe. So what is Moldova, really? It's not glamorous. It won't dazzle you with skylines. There are no mega malls or luxury brands on every corner. But maybe that's the point. Moldova doesn't seduce you with spectacle. It embraces you with sincerity. It's the place where a woman brings you hot tea when you're sick, without asking. Where a child hands you a flower, just because. Where life is slow, love is strong, and nothing is fake. You'll remember the taste of homemade strawberry jam. The softness in a young woman's voice as she teaches you her favorite poem. The old man who insisted you take his last apple, even though he clearly needed it more. You'll remember that Moldova never tried to impress you. And somehow, that's what impressed you most. Picture this: you're walking through an autumn vineyard. The wind smells like wood smoke and grapes. In your hand, warm bread, fresh from a clay oven. Around you, silence, stillness, soul. You came here with low expectations, maybe even by accident. But you leave with something rare, a memory that lingers, a story that doesn't shout. A place that made you feel more human. If you enjoyed this journey, hit subscribe for more soulful travel stories. Leave a comment. Would you ever visit Moldova? Your next adventure might just start here.